And now, weighing in out of the blue corner, Josh the Punk Thompson. 100%. And on the other mic, he weighs in from the red corner, Big John McCarthy.
Well, yes, it's once again the Weighing In podcast and my man Josh the Punk Thompson. Trust me, he's a punk because we've been talking off air. I can't believe the crap that comes out of that man's mouth. It's incredible, but we are going to talk about some of the news that's come up in the world of MMA. We got some fights that are going to be coming up. Talking Mackenzie Dern and Hirsch. Little thing with the UFC that's happening, and we've got the main thing. Little thing with the UFC. A little fight. It's a little fight.
There's no such thing as a little fight.
It's a little.
It's always the ones that you think are easy and that you think are little are the ones that, fuck, man, you're like, damn, what do I get myself into? It's like, you get out there, you're like, man, this guy's a lot harder than I thought.
A lot fucking harder than I thought. That's it.
All right, you know what? You guys are all going to have to hold for 1 second. Please don't break away, Dave. Dave normally likes to stop and cut and edit, but I can tell you guys right now, that little fan right there is going to piss you guys off. So I'm going to turn the fan off just because I get complaints about it all the time. So hold on.
Oh, is that because it makes the thing
People
on
think he should have just said it was
say goodbye to Thompson as he steps away.
Oh shit.
Oh, he's back. Dude, hey, I want to tell you, I'm very impressed. That's the fastest you've moved since you retired.
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Did he cut something?
Hello?
What did you do? Did you cut your headphones? He's like, Dave, don't edit. Don't
No,
cut away
Dave,
from the
don't.
show.
You can't edit that out. This is like the bloopers of our show.
All right.
Dave,
there we go.
what do Josh Thompson and a marble have in common? They're both
And
sharp
what?
as.
Oh, yeah.
Well, John, we've got a lot of news to talk about today, buddy. There's a lot going on,
good.
especially one
like
big
that.
time Francis Ngannou signing with the PFL.
Yeah.
And he will make his debut in 2024. But last I checked, he's what, 38?
No, 36.
Are you sure?
He might have turned 37, but he was 36.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's 36. Hold on, I'll just
Come on,
check it.
36.
Right
Where is
No.
age? 36 years of.
Oh, there he is. Yep. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Still has a little bit left in the tank, obviously. Big time
as a
deal from what
heavyweight?
I understand. But before we get onto this, go to onlyfans.com/Wayne and subscribe to us over there. And it is free. We're doing a fan Q&A this weekend, so you can always submit your fan questions on that platform. It will be free, you guys. It's free. We're just taking fan questions from onlyfans.com/Wayne. Let's jump right into this, man. Let's jump right into the news. This is we're going to talk about this first because this is the biggest news outside of the UFC fights that are happening this weekend. But let's talk about this contract deal. I haven't seen. I heard he was on some other guy's show, and they talked about it a little bit. I can't remember the guy's name, but I heard it was good. I heard that he had a good contract. All the waiting around finally paid off.
Paid off?
John.
Just a little.
John just confirmed paid off.
Just a little.
I think
Okay.
Go ahead.
I look at it this way. First off, I think it's great. Good job for Francis.
Yep.
Good for the PFL, but there's a whole lot that goes into this. I want to be his first opponent. I'll fucking come out of fucking non-retirement, retirement, whatever that 60 years. I'll take it. I'm not saying I'm going to win, but I'll take that $2 million payday. Getting knocked out is no big deal. I used to do that shit for free. Do this for $2 million? Hello, Francis. Talk to me, baby. You need an easy fight in the beginning. Let's go.
Wow.
It's like
wow.
$2 million, dude. Come on. That's nice, but you gotta be. I don't want to shit on anyone's parade, but they have a whole lot of things, and I don't have them up here in front of me. But I know he is the PFL chairman for Africa. Okay, that's great, but there is no PFL in Africa. So, they're saying they're gonna build something with him. Awesome, build something with him. That's great. He can go and box anywhere he wants. That's great. And he says, he's not going to be coming out until 2024. So he's going to try to get this fight done in the last half of the year here to face Joshua, if that's what he's going to be able to do. Deontay Wilder thing's kind of gone by the wayside. So, but he's going to make good money. He's a quality guy. I only wish the best for him, but you look and you go, honestly, Josh, how many fighters, when you look at the amount of money and everything that's there, does he bring the PFL all of those elements? Because look, he's good. I take nothing away from him. Francis, he was the champ. He's a beast when it comes to power in his hands and everything. But does he move the needle like you want someone to move the needle? You know, the UFC talked about this forever. You know, it was the whole question with Nate Diaz. You know, oh, Nate, you know, Dana came out and said Nate doesn't move the needle. Then all of a sudden he goes, all right, he moves the needle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because they're honest about it when someone does. And truthfully, Francis has never been that guy that's moved the needle in that big way. Now, that doesn't mean he's not a great fighter. John Jones had problems moving the needle for a long time, and it's, you know, kind of changed a little bit with his last fight with Gone. He did good numbers, but that's coming back out of, you know, basically a, you know, 2.5, 3 year freaking absence. Is he worth the amount that he's going to be making? I'm happy he's making it.
Yeah.
But is he worth it?
There's like we go through this type of stuff every year with the NFL draft. You know, it's not just the draft. It goes by like Lamar Jackson when he just went, Patrick Mahomes when he's on the Chiefs. Are you mortgaging your future? That's kind of where, you know, most of these football teams go through it. Like, is this person worth it? Is it worth the long term of, you know, will they make my team better? But then you're talking a team sport. But the conversation is, did we just mortgage our future for a fighter that is a fantastic fighter? There's no doubt. I'm not going to sit up here and say he's not. He's fucking awesome.
No,
he's
great.
Awesome. This guy's got power in his hands. He's learning how to wrestle.
In no way am I putting Francis Ngannou in any way down. I think he's a great fighter. I think he's a great person. I think he should make as much money as he can. Mm-hmm. I'm just looking at it in the opposite side because, look, there was a lot of people that, you know, talked about a lot of money and, you know, for whatever reasons couldn't come to, you know, agreements with Francis, and that's fine. That's his choice. But do you get the return, you know, on investment? Is that ROI really there for you where it's coming back and it's going to work out for you in the end?
Got it. I can't say a yes or no. I don't know. I think there will be.
We won't know until later on.
Yeah, that first fight, I think that he'll do pretty well depending on who he fights. They just want to see him in another promotion. Whoever it is, they're going to try to support it. I think you're going to obviously see Jake Paul get behind this because he is making good money. And on top of that, it's basically in Jake's kind of promotion type situation. I don't know how much Jake is involved in the decision making. I don't know how much Jake is part of all that.
He's part of that pay-per-view platform they've got, right?
Yeah, so he's trying to help grow this thing, which is good. But what did he eventually say he was making per fight? Do you know there, Dave?
He never told Ariel. So when he was interviewed by shall not be named, he said that his opponent makes guaranteed $2 million. He makes a bit more, is what he said.
Okay. So let's just say he makes $4 million a fight. Let's say he makes double. The other opponent gets $2 million. $6 million a fight. The numbers that they're doing on TV are about 285 at the highest, 285 to 300. Let's be on the more positive side, okay? Let's not be negative, okay?
I'm not being negative. I'm looking at it's a hard go because of where it's at, but yeah.
Yeah. I think they'll end up getting about 400 maybe for his first
400 pay-per-view buys?
Oh, no. No,
that's all he'll be on.
Oh, he won't be on the normal platform.
He is not going to be on in their tournaments.
Oh no, I know he's not going to be on the tournaments, but he won't do a super fight. He won't be in that super fight, but it won't just be on the regular platform super fights.
That's that pay-per-view platform that they're trying to go with.
Well, good luck with that. I don't see what did they get their first time? Just under 10,000, right?
Yes, 89.
10,000, 8,900.
8,900.
Yeah. Wow.
That's abysmal.
Wow.
And now, you put him on there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it should go way up.
What's way
but
up?
Not
though?
Enough to not. But is it enough to make up that difference?
It depends. It depends on how they're doing the pay-per-view model. Is the pay-per-view model a pay-to-play kind of thing where I have to pay until we hit a certain amount of views? Am I buying the pay-per-view up to 150,000 views, and then you pay me 3/4 or 50% or whatever, 90% or 80%.
It all depends on the provider and what they're doing. Like I can remember back when Affliction was coming out.
Oh, they're going to say UFC.
And what's that? I can remember back with the UFC pay-per-view, but look at in the beginning, the numbers and scales, the provider was making all the money, and as things go, you hope to get to 50-50 and then you want to get to 60-40, but that's not an easy thing to do. But, even back with, you think about it, like I said, Affliction, look at their first show, Josh. Look at the people they had on that card. They had everybody. I mean, it was a who's who of MMA talent. Arlovsky was on it, Sylvia, Fedor, Matt Lindland, Vitor Belfort. I mean, the list went, it was crazy. Ben Rothwell, who's now fighting bare knuckles. But at the time, Todd Beard, who was running Affliction, he expected to make at least 500,000 pay-per-view buys. And I told him, I said, Todd, that's not going to happen. It's just not. People buy now the UFC based upon not even who's fighting. They base it believing that the UFC is going to provide them with a quality show, entertainment, and they're going to enjoy it. It's tough to get 100,000 pay-per-view buys. Now, it can be done, and that's a home run if you are that promotion putting out things on pay-per-view right now. Look, even the UFC doesn't sometimes get a whole lot of big numbers. But if you're what do you think the pay-per-view price is going to be? Because the higher it is, the less people that buy it.
Yep.
So what do you think it's going to be?
I mean, I don't think they're going to go any lower than $49.95 or $99. $49.95.
Okay, so $50 we'll say, right?
$50.
Okay, so if you do $50 and you do 100,000 buys, how much money is that? Because you're only getting half.
Really?
If
really,
that.
John? You're making me do math right now? Okay. That's what we're doing.
So you're not even coming close to paying his and his opponent's salary. And then you got all those other fights.
Yeah.
That's where this business comes in. It's it's a tricky game when you get into pay-per-view.
Look, if I'm an outsider, which I am in this, is not only is he paying for himself, but is he going to help bring in enough people to pay for the rest of the crowd, the rest of the fights?
Well, and the crowd, yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I don't look as
He's
much.
Got to
as
put
you,
butts in the seats.
Yeah, as much as you enjoy watching him fight, as much as I love watching him knock people out and snapping their head back. I mean, his knockout of Overeem was.
Oh my God!
I thought he died.
Almost scary.
Yeah, and it was not almost. It was very scary. I was like, I've never seen the back of their skull touch their spine.
Yeah,
like it snapped all the way back. He touched his back on his spine. It was disgusting. Look, I feel like they kind of mortgage their future a little bit with this. Is this like a last-ditch effort, you think, to try to really bring in as much as they possibly can in terms of fans?
I don't know. They have done a remarkable job of getting investors and continuing to get investors time over time, and God bless them for doing it, man. That's showing that, you are, good talkers, good businessmen, able to make people believe, because what they're using is that number from the UFC. And they're saying, look, this is what we're after. And this is where, once we get here, we're going to sell, and look at what we're going to make. And there's always the possibility, but I don't think you're going to see another MMA promotion, be it PFL, One, Bellator, any of them, sell for anything close to what the UFC sold for.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
No. I don't think so either. But look, I'm going to give you some comparisons, though. So I heard in the last fight with Chris Cyborg, and I'd been up here saying, like, hey, the when Bellator was trying to re-sign or talking with Chris, do I think she's valuable? I think she's extremely valuable. But you don't have
the cost per fight.
It's not the cost per fight. It's just the people that she has to fight. She can only fight Arlene Blankout so much.
That's
right? Like you have her. Now we signed Sarah McMahon. We still have Kat Zingano to fight her.
Kat Zingano.
And now that we know that Kayla Harrison's not going to be back in the PFL, so they freed up that money. They're not paying her, so then that's going to be a lot of money that the PFL is saving because she won't be back. So now the signing kind of makes a little bit more sense, I believe, with Cyborg signing with Bellator, back with Bellator. But let me give you some numbers on that. In Chris's fight, she's always been very valuable. And I know she got mad at me over the stuff that I said, but I wanted to make clear she brings in numbers.
Yes.
And let's talk about those numbers. Like in her last boxing match, a boxing match that people were like, "Oh, I didn't even realize she was boxing." She sold 10,000 tickets. She also
phenomenal.
sold, yes,
Hold
and
on.
had 25 million Brazilians watching.
Josh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Explain to people what putting 10,000 butts in the seats
It's
is.
insane. It's insane.
Okay.
They don't realize that.
Insane.
It's insane.
Yes.
Yeah, look, even though I fought all the time in San Jose, I was selling anywhere between 100 to 100. I'm maybe a little exaggerating on the 120, somewhere in the $110,000 range, $110,000 range. But that only really equated on based off of where they bought their tickets. Some people bought $50 tickets. Some people bought the $1,000 tickets, down by the front. It just depended on where it was. But it ranged. It was about $100,000 worth of tickets normally.
That's a lot.
Average.
For a promoter, man, you're a star.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a lot. And that explains a lot why I continue to be towards the top of the card, when you're selling those amount of tickets, because you want those fans to stay until you fight. But with her, she was selling 10,000 tickets. That equates to over $100,000 easily. I mean, even in the nosebleed seats, that's easily over $100,000. But on top of that, she had 25 million people watching from Brazil. Now, I don't know what that means for the promotion, but there's just no way. There's just no way that Francis is getting 25 million people to watch him.
Maybe from Cameroon.
Maybe you think so?
He's pretty popular.
Okay.
It's pretty popular.
How many people are in Cameroon?
I have no concept. I don't think 25 million though.
But then to get the people
Might
inside. Then
Dave, find out how many population of Cameroon.
27.
27.2. So everybody has to watch.
Everyone has to watch.
Everybody.
But I think, look, maybe he does. Okay, so you get but what's the contract deal for the network in whether it's Cameroon or in Africa or wherever? What's the contract deal with them for TV? Are they making any money off of it? Are they bringing in? I mean, if they were smart, they'd be out there shopping him right now to those networks in that area to try and make some kind of money off of that. Making sure their pay-per-view goes over there, or even if it's just free for them to watch. Even though
there's going to be no pay-per-view.
There's going to be no pay-per-view over there. We get it. That's kind of how it is in a lot of the countries, though. People don't realize that. When you buy pay-per-view, it's like Canada, Japan, Australia, US. That's it. The rest of the countries don't pay for pay-per-view. That's it. There's not many that we actually have deals with that make money off of the pay-per-views. So it's really just the U.S., Canada, Japan, and Australia. I think there's another one in the U.K. Sorry, in the U.K. But the numbers that Chris brings in are definitely kind of worth where she's at.
Righteous numbers.
I'm not going to get into what her contract is and how much she makes, but let's just say it's around, a good amount. It's a good amount. We're in that good money talk. I don't want to say too much. But we're in that good. She's making good money.
She's making,
She's making good money. Look, you're John. Right. Let's get off that. But the thing is, now that we've signed fighters for her to fight, it makes sense. They need to find ways to bring somebody else in for him to fight. They need to have the heavyweights they have right now. I don't see it. Like he's gonna.
And they just lost a couple.
Yeah, I just don't see it.
You saw what happened with the testing.
Yeah, we did see what happened with the testing. Yes.
So you just lost a couple of those.
Capoloza was one of them, right?
Bruno was one of them.
Who was it?
Yep.
Bruno was one of them.
Yep.
I'm trying to see if I can filter this by heavyweight. Let's see. I can
tell you that Abubakar is not a heavyweight. I can tell you that. And I know this Abigail. She's not a heavyweight either.
Yeah, but I'm currently trying to search.
Hey, Abu Bakr got a better record going to the PFL.
Yeah.
They had a loss taken off. How the hell does that happen?
I think that's old.
Oh my
Let's
God.
see if we can break this out by.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, see, it's just trying to give me champions. Or
there's your
websites
champion.
not
Well,
good.
from the last one, okay, you got Ante Delia. He was their champion this year.
Mm-hmm.
How does he fare against Ngannou?
I mean, no.
Probably not very well.
But that's my point. And my point is, though, is that we're paying him a lot of money. His opponent's making a lot of money. And we may end up seeing fights like Mike Tyson when he was young.
Here's the
You're going to get like minute and a
Yeah.
half long fights or minute long fights. And, you're going to run into that. MMA fans are not used to that. They're not, they want the fights that have a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of grappling, a little bit of the mixture. They want a little bit of that back and forth battle. That's the point of having all these different skills, is that if you're the one with all the power, that I can still go out there and try to take you down, slow you down, do all these things. Now, look, John, we may be wrong. I mean, what happens if Francis doesn't prepare for these opponents like he did in the UFC? Maybe this is, you could think of it. You
That's
can think
not
of it in
his
different ways.
personality.
I get it,
It's not
but
his personality.
but you could think about it in different ways. He could be looking so far ahead to the boxing with Anthony Joshua that he gets away from just his submission game, his wrestling game, and he ends up fighting someone that is able to get him down to the ground. He's not the best guy off of his back,
No.
and so, I mean, these are all things that potentially, and that would be even the worst thing for the PFL, is if his first fight in MMA, he ends up losing. If his first fight in MMA in the PFL, he ends up losing, they're like, wait, we just paid all this money. And now, and then
Hold
it's
on.
hard.
But that happens.
It does.
It happens to every promotion.
It does.
It's happened to the PFL. Shane Burgos got a great contract from him. He lost his first fight. Big deal. Big deal. He's going to be back.
Yeah. Shane was never a champion.
True.
And I think when I feel like when fighters leave the UFC and they go to another promotion, the promotion wants to see them have a good fight, but doesn't want them to win against their guys. They want their guy to win. So, but they also want to see a good fight, a little back and forth to say, hey, we told you that our guy can win. We told you our guy could fight him. We told you that, they want to make sure all the money they're paying goes towards, hey, we still have this guy. We have the former UFC champion, and our guys are giving him a tough go, which means that our guys are just as good. Now we can piggyback on that. But they don't want to lose the value of that fighter, because then everyone's just going to do what I've seen and heard for years, for decades, is that, oh, he's washed up. That's what you're going to hear. If Francis loses, we're going to hear he's washed up.
Yeah, you're going to hear the UFC did it again. They knew.
Yeah.
And look, if they got rid of him at the right time because they have a crystal ball, no. But you take a look at, all right, you're looking right now at the heavyweight lineup for the PFL. Adam Kirsch is a guy that has fought in Bellator, decent fighter at heavyweight. Ante Delia, tough guy, good from Croatia. We know Kapoloza's got skills, but he ain't gonna be fighting for a little bit. As I go down the list and guys that I know, Abreu, decent fighter. Mateus, Scheifel has been doing well. Maurice Green used to fight in the UFC. Tough guy, pretty good defensively. Shelton Graves, big, strong guy. But, and this is your problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a total of, 14? 14. It's just not, there's just not that many. Mm-hmm. And there's no one, there's just no one that, right now is of the skill level to beat Ngannou.
I mean, they could always go out and sign some top level talent from,
how much is there
from the Dagestan region? And there's a lot of them there, by the way. There's a lot of them there, by the way. Yeah, I think
let's be honest. We've seen from in Bellator, there's guys from Dagestan in the heavyweight division. The guys in the lightweights, the bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight, even up to welterweight. Look out. Once you get past that, yeah.
He did talk about fighting Tyson Fury in the smart cage.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. See, the thing is, Tyson Fury to me is he's wild enough that he may actually do it.
No way.
I think he would. I honestly think. I think he would actually. I think he would actually.
He's not going to do an MMA fight.
I think he would. I think he would potentially fight.
Because he's trained with guys, and I know the guys he's trained with, and they all say, "Dude, he's a great guy." No, he's not going to do MMA.
I think he's wild enough that he might. Especially if it was to be a lined up fight with someone like a Francis Ngannou, where pretty much Francis is not really trying to shoot takedowns. I think he would try to stand with him with 4-ounce gloves. That'd be a fun fight with MMA gloves. I would love it.
Well, it'd be fun.
Yeah,
I would really enjoy it, but it ain't gonna happen.
I wouldn't mind watching them box it with MMA gloves in the smart cage. I mean, it doesn't have to be MMA.
Did you really have to come up with their stupid name for their cage, the smart cage? Please explain to me. What makes their cage any smarter than any other promotion?
Well, John, it's so smart I can't even explain to you. The cage is so smart that I can't explain it to you.
They get into a marketing thing and it's like, stop. That one's stupid. Yeah. There's nothing smart about your cage.
You know what's funny, right? Is that I've heard them on air talk about so-and-so didn't get any takedowns. And he got like 3 or 4 takedowns in that round, but then the cage didn't register it. So they're like, because I think it was Kenny. Kenny goes, yeah, he's gotten 3 takedowns. Hey, it's not showing any takedowns. It says he's 0 for 4. No, he should be 4 for 4. But it was just funny because they were arguing and bickering on air about how, well, no, I've seen the takedowns. I'm watching it. What do you mean there's no takedowns? I just saw him take him down 4 times. Yeah.
Bellator's got the same. They got the same stupid, stat people doing stuff.
Oh God!
And I'll look at it at times and go, and I'll hit the button. Hey, Nordy, take a look at those stats. Are the people doing this blind?
Yeah.
It's like, come on. You'll watch a fight where one guy's landing all the shots, and the other one has three punches ahead on the stats on their thing. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Come on.
But back to Francis. Let's recap this. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for whoever his opponent is. They're going to be making more money. My only concerns are you by the time he fights in 2024, he will have not trained MMA, because it sounds like he's been getting ready for boxing for so long. When he does finally fight MMA, will he be the same guy he was when he left a year ago? That's
one.
Question. 2 is
fair.
Is he ever going to get this fight with Anthony Joshua? That's the other thing. If he doesn't get it, then I'm literally wasting away this year. He's 36, he's 35, 36 years old. Now I've wasted a whole year of his career waiting for him to get a boxing match that never came to fruition, and I'm paying you all this money. So let's get you as active as possible. Now, is he also going to fight just once or twice a year, or is he going to fight as much as he possibly can in 2024? Or is it going to be 1 fight a year until you're 45? If I'm the promoter, those are all details that I would have liked to have worked out previously. Like, hey, you need to fight, at least twice, barring any injuries, which obviously needs to be approved through our doctor that it is a real concern and injury, which is what the UFC does. They do it in a very sly way, but they do it. Let me send you to our doctors, check you out, make sure you're okay.
Always.
We have the best doctors in the world. We'll send you to 2 different locations to get a second opinion to verify that you still can't fight. I'm happy for him. I mean, I don't know what he's making, but deal's done. Good for him. Happy for his opponents. I'm looking forward to seeing him fight in the cage. Out of all the guys, Anthony Joshua, Wilder, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua is the one that I wanted him to fight. That's the one that he has the most chance of beating.
Because he's got a weak chin?
I wouldn't say he's got a weak chin. I just feel like he has something in him that can be broken. Whereas Tyson doesn't seem like he can be broken. And people want to talk about Wilder and what Tyson and him. No, I'm sorry, but Wilder's a dog, man. There's no quitting him.
There's no breaking down.
There's no quitting him.
No.
When I look at Wilder, man, he's got big power. But he's a tough. The first fight when he lost to Tyson, he had all those excuses, but then he came out and proved that he can fight. I mean, he can still.
No. The first one, he didn't make any excuses. That was the second one he made the excuses.
With the weight of the thing?
Yeah.
I thought that was the first fight. That was the second one? Got it. All right. Well, anyways, I'm happy for him. I'm glad he got it.
Me too. Congratulations. I'm ecstatic for you. I hope everything works out for both you and the PFL. I hope that you are able to sell pay-per-views and make it worth what they're giving to you, and that it shows that they made the right choice.
I want them to be successful because, like we talked about, with Bellator, we talked about it with One. We need as many promotions to succeed as possible. Yeah. Because when they succeed, that means that there's more fighters coming into the sport. That means that the sport is growing worldwide. I mean, you can't tell me. We just did a show in Paris last week. Sold out. It sold out weeks, like probably about a little over a week before the actual event. It sold out. And there were discussions of how they could find ways to make the walkout stage and everything like that a little bit smaller so they could sell more seats. And the same thing's going on in Chicago right now. There is an itch for things that are not the UFC, and there's an itch just for more of the sport. They want to change it up a little bit. Some people want to see what's going on in other promotions. Yeah. Now, I can't say that, we're fully responsible for that because John and I have the best podcast in the game. So I'm going to pat ourselves on the back a little bit and say that we helped with that. Because we talk about the sport.
If you're speaking the truth, just keep speaking.
I love it. I love it, man. I love it. I know some of you guys might be upset, because the truth kind of hurts sometimes, but no, it's true. We do the best we can to talk about all the promotions. Obviously with time changes and things like that, it's not the easiest thing to do, and with us traveling for Bellator, but we still try to do the best we can to talk about all promotions. And I'm happy to see that the PFL landed a top talent. They've got a slew of heavyweights, so they could potentially have him fight. That should be good as well. I don't see any of them right now being on his level, but who knows? Him coming into that promotion may up these fighters' games. Look, if I fight him, I'm making $2 million. That's right off the bat. Guaranteed $2 million if I fight him. So I got my hand raised like John does. I'll fight you too first. Okay? I'll fight you first. Then if I win, do I get the automatic rematch? That's the other thing.
Another $2 million, baby.
Yeah, right? Like, do I get the automatic rematch because I know he wants to try to beat me? That's another thing. So, and then on top of that, does that mean I continue to make the $2 million? Because I did just beat your number one guy?
Maybe, or do I go back just a little more?
Or do I go back down to my 50 and 50?
There's no going back down. No.
See, you're opening the door. You're opening the door for the opponents. If the opponents win, you got to keep paying them that $2 million. To fight Francis again, I do.
To fight Francis?
Now, do I get Francis's money and Francis gets what I was going to make?
There you go. That's what we're talking about.
There you go. Yeah, anyways.
Congratulations
overall,
to Francis, though. Congratulations to the PFL, man. You know what? I really love the way that you're going after things and trying to, always. This is the biggest signing they've ever had. No doubt about it.
Absolutely.
When you take a look at, they've gotten some good signings and stuff like Burgos and, Roy McDonald and Pettis. This is the biggest signing they've ever had.
Yeah. I mean, I would say out of all those signings, probably their next best signing was Kayla Harrison. I think Kayla was, yeah, that was in the beginning. I get it, but she was probably still there. I'd say she's probably still their second best now after Ngannou, because she's done the most work. She's brought the most notoriety in any of the ones that she's been on.
She's brought eyeballs. She's done a good job of promoting the PFL.
This is the thing, though. Like, every fighter that is homegrown are the ones that bring the most eyeballs. I've got to be honest. I mean, the guys that we've had from the beginning, like, Patricio brings the most eyeballs. Amosov brings the most eyeballs. I mean, he is now. Johnny Eblen bringing the most eyeballs. People are talking right now over Twitter that Johnny Eblen's the best middleweight in the world. That's not me. Those are people on Twitter. Now, I know we're talking about the comment section. Okay. That's my business right there but you look at him, you look at Fabian Edwards, you look at, I know Costello just lost, but you got Costello who's still coming up, and Lima being more at the weight class that he wants to be. The homegrown fighters, if you build them properly, which I think Bellator is finally doing, is having success. Now, I don't know what they're doing inside the PFL, but start working on those, because the Kayla Harrison, she's been your number 2 person the whole time. I would even say Lance Palmer for a while, though, was the guy. Because he was winning I think he won it two or three times in a row. He was the guy. Yeah, 2 times. 2 times in a row he won that tournament, and so he's just living that life. Must be nice, But yeah, it's I'd like to see them have success. I think if any of those heavyweights can get a win over Francis, really catapult their name as well as the PFL into a little bit more success, that'll bring more eyeballs. What is that?
Yep. That is
John's got
thunder.
I thought you said it was sunny out.
Dude, it was cooking, and all of a sudden, when I've been in here, all of a sudden I heard that. I went, "Ooh, it's raining."
You just said it was like 85 degrees and 100%
it
humidity.
is.
But the
100% humidity. That's why water's coming out of the sky.
but I just in my mind was thinking sun's out.
This
Sun's
is what
out,
happens
guns out.
where I live. Is the sun's out,
Yeah.
and 20 minutes later, you have got a downpour.
There's not one thing you just said that's convinced me to move to Nashville or Tennessee or wherever you're at. Okay, no thanks. Hard pass. But John, there was some tweets let out today by this guy we know. His name's Johnny Bones Joan. What do you think?
Yeah, well, calling yourself the baddest man on the planet from across the street. Who does that? Laughing out loud. Well, John has the ability to put out there that, you know what, you should have been here and you should have been fighting me, but it's not going to happen. So really, what do you have here with John tweeting this out?
John's calling the baddest man on the planet from across the street. He's calling him out.
There you go. That's the whole point.
That's what John
from across the street. John Jones is calling out, saying, "I'm the baddest man."
Yeah.
Okay.
This is fun though. I think this is just. I think deep down, John's probably happy for him that he's making a lot of money.
So. Yeah.
You know, I think so. John doesn't strike me as someone that he's just trying to stir the pot, hoping he can maybe get him to come back over, but then.
Jesus Christ.
John.
Yeah, baby.
Wow.
Let's go.
This is like this is like a horror movie type.
Dude, that is
crazy.
That was I saw the lightning flash.
Jeez, man.
I was like, oh yeah, here it comes.
That's nuts.
I can see it.
Are you wearing rubber shoes?
I am wearing rubber shoes.
You have the rubber soles on? All right, good.
Yeah, I told you what happened with my
thinking about your
experiment with the electric fence, right?
Yes, I did. You tried to piss on it and it shocked you. No, you did tell me though. Oh man. All right. Well, hey, let's go ahead and move on. We kind of beat that stick with a dead horse, or beat that horse with a dead stick.
To death.
You know what I meant. Some more sayings. Before we move on to the actual UFC fight card, we go to onlyfans.com/weighing in. Subscribe to us over there. It is free. We keep saying it's
be free.
Head over there. We're going to continue to be free, but hey, head on over there. Submit your fan questions at onlyfans.com/weighing in. All right. What do you got? We got UFC fight night, but it's like, I don't know, 80 something or 82, 88, 87. It says fight night 223, but
yeah, that's whatever.
It's Vegas 73.
Vegas 73. Gosh, man. I wish they would just choose a number. All right, go
Mackenzie
ahead.
Dern against Angela Hill. That is the main event of this card. And I take a look, and I love Angie Hill. She's a good person. She's a good fighter. She's up against it with Mackenzie Dern in this fight because if Mackenzie gets Angela Hill down, there's a massive disparity in the talent on the ground. Now, on the feet, Angela Hill all day long can light her up. And Angela Hill needs to keep it on the feet. She knows that. Mackenzie knows that. You know that. I know that. So it's all a question of, can Angela stay on her feet throughout this fight, not get in the position where Mackenzie's able to get her down? Because Mackenzie will end up jumping guard. She's going to do all the things just to get into a clinch so she can jump guard.
Yeah. Angela Hill's got her hands full, but I think with the movement of which she has, and she possesses some good power, she mixes up the striking with her hands and her feet very well. She's got to keep Mackenzie Dern guessing though, and I think that'll make it a little bit more easy for Angela Hill to stay on her feet. If she just goes out there and tries to box,
middle.
Yeah,
knees up the middle.
Knees up the middle. You think knees? I like the push kick up the middle because it's a little bit harder for them to grab.
She does that all the time.
Yeah, the push kick up the middle to the face or to the not just the stomach, but the chest. I feel like the stomach's a little bit easier to grab. You go to the chest or the face, it's like they're worried about.
A little bit high.
Yeah, it's a little high, and they're worried about getting push kick in the face, so they just step backwards versus trying to step into it and catching the leg. Knees to me are a little dangerous only because it's easier just to grab the knee and I can sit you in a single leg dump. But when I'm looking at Angela Hill, she's got to stay on her bike. And she usually does a pretty good job of using her lateral movement. Sticking left and right, punching on the go. She's got to make sure that as she's circling and she's letting the combinations go, don't worry about putting too much power on it, because she naturally has pretty decent power, but she's got to hit her with 2 or 3 shots to make her start second guessing. But here's the problem. Yeah. This is going to be the problem no matter what. Being so good on the ground, it doesn't matter even if Angela Hill drops her. McKenzie's going to lay to her back and go, come on down. Yep. And that's not something I'd be too eager to jump into.
Nope.
I mean, never mind. But you know what I mean? But
it took me a minute. I'm getting old.
Old age. I'm not trying to jump down there and let it go, you know? I mean, so Angela Hill's she's got her work cut out for her. She's got to be patient. She's got to let the fight.
Got to be very disciplined.
Yeah, you got to be very disciplined. You got to let the fight happen. Don't try to rush it. You've got to have her really hurt before you go jumping into her guard.
But and here comes the problem. This is where we can talk about Mackenzie's ground game all you want. Mm-hmm. You got to give it up for Mackenzie Dern. She's tough. She will take shots. To get to where she wants to be, she'll take shots. Now, that's not always the best for her to do, but she doesn't back away. She's not like a lot of grapplers where she starts to get hit and all of a sudden she's backing off of everything. Mm-mm. She still comes forward.
Yeah.
So she's a tough lady.
I mean, 12 fights, 3 losses, and she's pretty much fought everyone. She was 1 fight away from fighting for the title next.
Yep.
I remember that. And then she came up short on that fight, but I think she's still relatively young. She's not an old person. What is she, 29? No. Can you look on Mackenzie Dern? She's in her 30s?
I think she's 30
She's
now.
a baby.
Just
30. 30. When did she turn 30?
Yep.
2 months ago.
March.
2 months ago. Oh, she just turned 30. In her peak, in her prime. This is, so she's a stud. She's an animal. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. This, like you said, though, Angela Hill's going to have to be very disciplined.
Yeah.
So, next fight.
This is Edmund Shabazian coming back against Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. I love Fluffy.
I always get him and D-Rod messed up. But now that I know it's D-Rod and then Anthony Hernandez, I can just call him I just call him Fluff. A Hernandez. A Hod. A Herd. I don't even know.
Herd.
A Herd. I don't know. I'm
being a fight, man.
It's going to be a good fight.
It is going to be a good fight. Edmund is good on the ground. Edmund is really kind of changed up, what he's doing. He's changed camps. He's doing very well with where he's at now. He needed it. He really did. He was, I didn't think he was being managed well. I didn't think he was being looked after well by his people. I don't think he was being taught, things to make him better. He now is. He's getting better as a fighter, but he better not make a mistake with Hernandez because Fluffy can fight.
Yeah, and one thing Fluffy's got a lot of willpower and he's got a lot of conditioning, good cardio, and he will push the action and push the pace. So Edmund can't afford to exert all the energy and get tired to the point where he slows down too much because Fluffy's going to be there pushing the pace, going to be hanging on him, going to be trying to land big shots, and he's not afraid to jump to his back, work on guillotines, he's not afraid to go for submissions. So he'll be chasing that. Yeah, that's one thing you've got to worry about when you're fighting someone who can take a shot, deliver a shot, and has great cardio.
Yep, and has a good submission game. This
is another thing, like a little bit like how Angela Hill is. With Edmund, he's going to have to be very disciplined on when to push the action and when to, take a step back and get a deep breath. Because those things make a big difference when you're fighting someone like Fluffy, like Anthony Hernandez, because he's still going to be there no matter what you do to him. Knock him down, drag him out, whatever it is. He's going to still be there. Next fight.
Emily Ducati versus Lupita Godinez. That's actually not a bad scrap. That's one that Godinez comes forward. She fires a lot of shots. Emily Ducote does the same thing. She likes to come forward. Definitely.
Emily's a little gun shy every once in a while. And I look at Lupita. She comes forward and throws big shots.
Lupita will definitely come forward.
She throws heavy shots. She tries to get you out of there. She wings it. Whereas Emily's more of a technician. She tries to stay tight with everything, try to land 1-2, 1-2. She'll get in there and mix it up. But she has moments, John, where she looks spectacular, and then she has fights where you're like, who is this girl? Like I didn't sign this girl. So it's a weird vibe, man. I like her a lot as a fighter. There's so many fights where she just shuts down after something doesn't, whether she got hit with a good shot or she just feels like maybe she's getting a little tired, whatever it is. No idea what it is. But she just turns into not being the fighter that she could be. So I look at Lupita, and for me, Lupita's going to end up kind of trying to land the big shots, trying to push her around and bully her a little bit. And if she's able to do that, I think Emily will shut down, unfortunately. But
Andre Fiallo versus Joaquin Buckley. You know both guys very well. That's actually a really good matchup. I like that one.
Good fight.
It is a good fight. Who's winning that?
Oh, come on, man. You know I got to go with my boy. Look, this is why.
Right away.
This is why I'm going to go with my boy Andre Fiallo.
We're betting a beer.
Okay, we'll bet a beer. Right. Okay.
I like
real men drink whiskey, but whatever. We'll bet a beer.
Oh, don't be a candy. We'll bet a whiskey.
Okay, but look, this is why I go with Fiallo. Fiallo fights at this weight normally. Joaquin Buckley's coming down from 85 to 70. He had struggled.
But he used to fight at welterweight.
He used to struggle to make the weight though, and now you're coming back down and doing it again. So you went up to 85 for a reason, because you were struggling to get your weight down. Now you're going back down there, and this will be the first time he's down there.
He's that tweener.
He is.
He's got a, and he's not a tweener in the way that we'll say Kelvin Gastelum is. Buckley's got as big a chest as you'll find on a guy. He's muscular.
Yep.
He carries a lot of muscle. He doesn't have a lot of fat on him. So it is, has he changed his nutrition and cut down on some of that muscle? Is it going to affect him as a fighter? It's a possibility.
Yeah, I think it will. I think it'll have a little bit of an effect on him, because he'll be losing a little bit of muscle to get down there. And then on top of losing a little bit of that muscle, though, I mean, how much are you really depleting your body? Not just your muscles, but, just really weathering down your body to get there. And will that show as the fight goes on? And so he's another one of those fighters that's extremely explosive. And when you're explosive like that, every shot you throw, it's not slow twitch. It's all fast twitch muscle, and so you got to be very cautious and careful with him. He's good for that first round and a half, maybe even the full 2 rounds. But, I think with the weight cut, will he be the same fighter in the third round? That's something you have to ask yourself. Andre Fiallo is in a very similar situation. He exerts a lot of energy. He's got big power. He's explosive himself. But he always fights at this weight. And so I think that he's going to have a little bit more of the upper hand.
He's fought at 185.
He has. But he mainly fights at welterweight. But
he's fought at 185. Yeah. So, hey, glass of whiskey on it. Whatever kind you want.
I don't bet on my boys. You know that.
Oh, now you're not betting at all?
I don't bet on my friends.
Oh, you
know
said
that.
You are.
But I will do you this favor though. I'll bet you on the number 7 fight, Diego versus Michael Johnson.
No, because you're going to want the same guy I want.
I want Michael Johnson.
So do I.
Oh, okay.
So I said no, because you're going to want the same guy I want.
Gotcha. Okay. John always trying to shape the bets his direction. That's why.
No, I'm
always trying to
skew
the bets. Always trying to.
I gave you a fight where someone.
I don't bet on my friends. You're trying to get me out of my thing.
I'm not
jinxing. I'm not jinxing my friend.
You haven't talked to him in how long?
I just saw him like 2 Bellators ago. He was there. I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, he was in the where were we at before? He was not Hawaii. Sorry, he wasn't in Hawaii. He was at CBS. He was at the CBS show. All right, give me your take on the Diego fight and Michael Johnson fight.
Michael Johnson. No, I'm serious. Hold on, because this is at lightweight, and it's a good weight class for Michael Johnson. He's fast there still. He's got a great jab. He's got the left hand. Now look at Diego's going to be trying to work towards getting towards the clinch, but Johnson's not easy to get down. He's got good wrestling. Yeah. Now you can go back and look at certain people like Khabib was able to take him down. Yeah, he did that with everybody. So Michael Johnson's got a good chance of keeping this thing where he wants it, dictating where the engagements take place. I think the speed of Michael Johnson is a problem for a lot of people, and I think he's going to be pretty fast for Diego.
Yeah, he's got some speed, man. He's getting older too, and it's still there, which is strange to me. Man, that lets you know how damn fast he was when he was younger.
Yeah.
Like but Diego, he's crafty, man. He's crafty on the feet.
He is.
He's good on the ground. He's good at getting in the clinch. He's a little dog inside that clinch. But I'm looking for him to get this fight to the ground. He'll have the distinct advantage, I think, on the ground. But he's got to be on top, not off
In the
of his
top
back.
position.
Yeah, in the top
That's
position.
right.
So
in the top position, he's got the advantage.
But Michael's not easy to hold down either. Outside of Habib, like no one really held him down. Nobody. Like he's able to kind of wiggle his way back up to the top. And, other guys, some guys couldn't even get him down. And
people are going to go back someday and look at Michael Johnson because his record is nothing special.
No.
He's close to a 500 fighter. But take a look at the list of people that he's fought overall and the names that are on that damn list that he has fought. He has fought a ton of really good guys.
Go ahead. We put too much claim in, he's almost a 500 fighter. Motherfucker, so was BJ Penn and Randy Couture. They're almost 500 fighters too.
Well, Randy's way over 500.
Yeah, but look, how much?
19 and 11.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he's about where Michael's at now. Yeah, BJ is like 16 and 15 or something like that.
Yeah. BJ's right there at 500.
But he never said no to a fight. Never.
No.
They always wanted to fight the
Michael
best
Johnson.
guys. And that's what I'm saying. Like, those are the guys that have always said, you know what? I want to fight the best guy. Give me the toughest and the hardest motherfucker in the weight class. And in BJ's case, sometimes not even in my weight class. Like, give me the guy 3 weight classes above. I'll take that guy. And so I don't look at these records and go, oh man, they're worth shit. They're worth a bunch of garbage. Like the fighters that they were.
I take a look at this. Go down lower on that because, I'll look at the names on that damn list. He's got Tony Ferguson in there.
He beat Tony Ferguson. He beat Danny Castillo.
Beat Tony Ferguson.
Lost to Miles Jury.
Beat Joe Lozon. Beat Gleason Tebow. Beat Melvin Gillard. Beat Edson Barbosa.
Jesus.
Look.
Beat Dustin.
Beat Dustin Poirier. That's right.
Jeez.
The dude's had some freaking incredible fights.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think he's still got a lot of skills. And
that's old school.
He'll be around for a while.
Jeez, he's been around for a minute.
Yep.
He's talented, man. He's talented. He just came out here a little while back and did an autograph signing at the Train Alta program that they did for the grand finale. That was pretty cool. He came out and did some autograph signings and hung out with a bunch of people. Got to sit and chat with him for a little bit. It's funny. We were reminiscing about the old days when we were supposed to fight. He's a good guy. Like him a lot. And
Carolina, say the last name. Kovalkiewicz. Against Vanessa Dimopoulos.
Okay.
So I look at this and Vanessa's got to get the fight to the ground. I don't know if she's going to be able to. Carolina's been fighting much better lately. She's now fighting with American top teams, been doing very well. And I think this is a good fight for her.
Any other fights out here you want to talk about?
You got to bring up the kid, Chase Hooper, going against Nick Fiore. That's not an easy fight. Fiore can fight on the ground.
Yeah,
Fiore's got good skills on the ground.
John, did you say that you have to bring him up? Because I don't think we had to bring him up. I don't think
I had to.
I would like him to step away from the sport for a little bit.
Yeah,
like not the sport in general. I'd like him to step away from the UFC for a little bit. Grow into his body, become a man.
Mature a little bit.
He's
still so young.
I know. What is he? 23.
23.
But he just hasn't grown into his body. Like there's no you can tell there's just no muscle.
Well, he's gotten a little bit better than that picture there. Sean.
Yeah. But that picture was taken. 12 days ago. Okay. I don't know. I want to see him. I want to see him have a long career. And I think if he was to step away, get a couple more fights in another organization, not in any of the bigger organizations, go down to LFA or go down to, I don't know, whatever. So another promotion. Go down to the next step down. Go there and see what it is. So who knows? I like him as a fighter. I think he's got a lot of potential. He's got to learn how to strike, though. He's got to learn how to strike.
Yes. His striking has definitely got. Yeah, because if he can't take the person down, then he's in deep trouble just accepting damage. So
yeah, but even on the bottom, he doesn't have the physical strength to keep them off of him getting his face pounded in. That's where he ran into some problems too. Like,
yeah, but that's a lot of those because he was taking and pounding on the feet.
That's true. All right, hey, that's gonna wrap up our UFC. What is it? 73.
UFC Vegas 70.
UFC
Vegas
73.
from the Apex.
All right, John, let's go. What's this fight we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about some boxing.
We've got two, baby. And one of them, May 20th, the date for Devin Haney versus Vasily Lomachenko. 12 rounds for Haney's undisputed lightweight championship, which is 130 pounds. That's a little big for Vasily. At one point, Lomachenko was the best technician there is. I don't know if you guys have watched Devin Haney fight. That some bitch can fight.
Yeah.
That dude is a technician.
What I think is going to be a little bit different about this fight is that Haney's going to keep Loma out on the outside with his jab, his footwork. He's going to, he's going to be able to land the big shots, I think, from outside. Loma's going to have to get inside, be able to cut the corners off of those jabs and be able to try to land from there. But what I have noticed with Loma as of lately, he's slowed down. He's a little bit more hittable. And it's nothing against him. He's just getting older, and that's it. Yeah. And that little bit of a slight difference in speed goes a long way when you're fighting someone who is damn good.
Especially like Devin Haney is one of the best right now.
Yeah,
Let's
he's
be honest.
Phenomenal.
Devin
The win over Loma, though, that puts him right in that conversation with who's the other guys?
Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence.
Yeah, there's the other one. God, what's his name? Oh, I can't remember. Gosh, man. Shakur. Sorry.
Oh.
Because you've got Shakur, you've got Crawford, Spence. Who else is there? There was another one there. Oh, Tank. You've got kind of those guys that are all around in that little area there. They're all going to be trying to fight each other because those are all the money fights. They're going to come up into the negotiations. It's going to be whoever can, forfeit enough to where I am willing to take this amount of money to fight you. It's very rare that you have what Showtime was able to put together with the Garcia and the Tank fight, because it's so rare when you have two undefeated fighters willing to take a chance on losing it. And in boxing, that's what makes boxing shitty. But then again, when the fight does finally happen, it makes it so exciting for that one fight. True. No one can tell me who the fucking prelim fight was that night. Nobody. I don't know anybody that can tell me.
Because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. There's the one fight. I'm like, why do you guys even bother having the other fights? Like, who are you guys really warming up? Like, hey, the main fight's going to start at 8 o'clock. Just announce it that way. Save yourself all that time.
Also, on the same night, you do have Katie Taylor in Ireland taking on Chantel Cameron for her. I want to say it's junior welterweight title or something like that.
Okay.
So
junior welterweight.
Okay. Katie Taylor just trying to take on and gather belts as much as possible and stuff. So I wanted to see her in that rematch with Amanda Serrano. I thought that would have been the fight.
They're supposed to be kind of getting that. They're supposed to be getting that thing back together. We'll see. But
it was supposed to happen.
Serrano's fighting the one that Hardy.
That's right.
From New York.
Heather
Hardy. Yeah. Yep. She's still doing her thing, man. Still doing it.
Yeah.
Good for them.
She's tough. I'll give her that.
Yeah, she is tough, man. She is tough. All right. Well, hey, that's gonna wrap up on the boxing matches and stuff. So let's go ahead and move into some news. What you got for us, Dave? Dave, give us some news.
Yeah, I got a couple fun ones. Just we'll have some fun here. The first one is Bellator middleweight champ Johnny Eblen, thinking that he could hang with Israel Adesanya, and then he's
first up, the title, and it just says that he would destroy UFC title holder Israel Adesanya.
And especially after seeing the holes in the Pereira fight.
Wow. Look, I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon. I am on the Johnny Eblen bandwagon. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. But I'm not going to jump on this train where it says he's going to destroy him. I am going to say that he's got all the attributes to destroy him.
To beat him.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the attributes to destroy him, John. I just don't think it's going to be as easy as he would think it would be, because Izzy, though, what he does have is he has great lateral movement. When he strikes, his back and his footwork and the way that he's
got beautiful distance control.
Yes.
Especially when he's fighting someone that is not quite as long and tall as he is.
But
Johnny's getting close, but he's not as long and tall.
No. But what I can say, though, about Johnny is that Johnny fights in the ways that is not like a traditional fighter that will fight him. He will double jab in, switch stance to a right hook, come back with a straight left, drop down on the single, scoop and lift. Doesn't get it, go to the body lock and take you down. And if he
Johnny does.
Yeah.
Johnny does a beautiful job of, every wrestler has a primary leg forward. Mm-hmm. That's where they wrestled their entire life. Johnny uses his striking to switch his feet up for that shot when he's going to take it. And he does it just effortlessly, beautifully done. And it makes it to where his takedowns come so much easier based upon that, he uses his hands to get into the wrestling, and the guys they're working at stopping what he's doing with the striking, and all of a sudden he's deep on the takedown and they cannot adjust to it in time.
Yeah. Look, I think that in that pull up the UFC middleweight division. I think I've done this before. I think the only guy that would, I'm not saying that Izzy doesn't give him a hard go. I think Izzy gives him a pretty good fight. But I think once that fight hits the ground, it's just a different level of fight. There's a big, on the feet though, I think Johnny can stand a tiny bit, but it's got to get more into the focus of wrestling and the grindiness and the, in terms of fighting him in a phone booth. You got to fight him in that, my forehead is in your chest.
The guy that gives Johnny Eblen the biggest problem out of the UFCs is Robert Whittaker.
Yeah, absolutely. But I said there's Bobby Knuckles. He's the guy that's going to give him the most problems because he's got good takedown defense. He stays tight with his stand-up. He's not too concerned about going to the ground. He's okay with being there. He probably will be good at getting back up. Body style is not going to be, it's going to be like, for me, the wrestling to get in on the someone like an Izzy, on the single leg, the snatch, working your way to the body lock, those type of things. Johnny mixes it up so well. I think that it would be an easier fight for him to fight Izzy than it would to fight Bobby Knuckles.
But that's what when you look at MMA math, it doesn't work out.
No, it never does. It never does. But if I look at Alex, I look at Izzy. Those two fights are a little bit more tailor made for him. I also look at Marvin Vettori's a little bit of a grimy guy. I think that would give him a little bit of a hard time too. But if once he did get him down, I don't know if Marvin would be able to get back up to his feet. I look down the explosiveness of Paulo Costa would probably give him a little bit of a problem, but I think as the fight went off, Johnny's conditioning and cardio is it's a different level in terms of the pace. I said this about when he fought Tokov, because I was like, oh, Tokov, he's got great power, he's got big speed, he's got heavy hands, all those things. But man, Johnny fought him in that first round at such a pace that Tokov after that just didn't have what it took to keep going at that pace for the next 2, 3, 4, and 5 rounds. So it was that's what you look at. And this is the other thing that I've looked at. Johnny Eblen, like when you look at the Gegard fight, just showed him no respect. Everyone walked on eggshells around Gegard because all we ever heard was how good he was. And I was one of the guys saying he was probably the best middleweight in the world, if not, in the top 1 or 2. So but then Johnny was like, I don't give a crap who he is. I don't care how good he is. I don't care how many 60-something fights he has. I don't give a shit. I'm going to fight him my way. I'm going to go out there and set precedent. Because he just saw one fight before that. He saw his teammate Austin Vanderford lose to him. And he's like, Austin, just right off the bat, I could tell Austin showed him too much respect. Showed him way too much respect, and that's not what I'm going to do. So he didn't do that. And so what he went out there, started landing the strikes, started throwing the inside leg kicks, started switching stances, mixing it up, used his speed, utilized the wrestling, didn't force the takedowns, but got off the clinches, landed some big shots, got back in on the wrestling. He mixed it up so well that it kept Gegard guessing. And I could see him doing the same thing against Izzy. Definitely doing the same thing. Yeah, definitely doing the same thing against Alex Pereira. But I think Robert Whittaker gives him a tough go. And we move on. We'll see. Good stuff, though. The guy that in that weight class and just not getting as much respect as he deserves is Roman Dolidze, man. That guy is tough. He is tough. I think he's a bad matchup and a tough fight for every single person in that weight class. You take a look
at his fight when he fought Vettori. A lot of people thought he won that fight. So
yeah, I was very close. I wasn't upset either way on how it went, but no. I kind of was leaning towards Dolidze, I believe, if I go back and think about that fight. Next thing.
All right. Similar deal here. We have Kayla Harrison You guys kind of alluded to it earlier, but saying that she's in her last season with PFL, contracts up in December. Cyborg fight is looking probable, possible, probable, plausible. One of them.
Yeah,
one of those words. Possible, probable, plausible.
What do you think?
Which one is it?
I think
I'm going
that
possible.
the marketability
It's
of Chris
plausible.
Cyborg and having her still on the roster is important, especially if something like this becomes available. I think the understanding that Francis has just signed with them for an obscene amount of money, and every fighter that he fights is going to make an obscene amount of money. That they understood that, look, we were paying her an obscene amount of money. Now that's going to go away. They freed up that capital, and now Bellator will probably absorb that cap hit. And when they do, you've got females for her to fight. You've got Arlene Blanco. You've got Sarah McMahon. You've got Chris Cyborg. You've got Sinead Kavanaugh. You've got fighters in there.
Kat Zingano.
You've got fighters in there that are willing to fight her. Makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. So I'm looking forward to if she does come onto the roster. I'm looking forward to seeing those fights all come to fruition. Be nice. Great addition. Look, I think the signing of Sarah McMahon kind of changed the direction of which Bellator was doing the 145-pound weight class. They signed her. Kat now being ready to fight, and be a little bit more active. Arlene re-signing as well. I think what it was is to really kind of get a focus of where Kayla Harrison's going to be, and she came out publicly and said, "I'm not going to be in PFL. I'm going to be fighting on my contract, and I'm up in December, and I'm ready to go." We'll see.
We will see, but I give her I love the fact that she's chasing something. And
What do you
has
think the
her
percentage
eyes set on
chance is? Give me a percentage chance that she signs with us. 25%, 80%, 50%. If you say 50, that's like a push. What a
You're just
sis.
like you're middle of the road homer.
You're such a
Have you ever heard of one of those?
That's
Have you ever heard of a guy like that?
That's sissy nonsense.
Middle of the road homer.
Jeez. Jeez. Didn't even buck up and give me a percentage.
I gave you 50%.
That's the push. That's weak.
It's not a push.
Weak.
Okay,
Yeah,
you give me a
50% is
percentage.
push.
Give
I
me a
think
percentage.
I'm going to push 80%.
Oh, you're going 80.
Yeah, I think she signs with us.
You're way
I think
up
she
there.
signs with us. I don't see anybody in the UFC. That division doesn't even really exist. They've got Amanda there at the top. There's no other fighters. It would only make sense for her to come fight for us. That's it. I'd say 80%. I would even go a little bit higher, but since you pushed it 50, I didn't matter what I said. Anything above you was being a man. So, but I'm excited. I'm excited if they do get that done.
Well, I personally, I think Kayla is a fantastic fighter. She's a great person.
I would
So
love
I'd
to get
see her.
Larissa Pacheco also. I'd like to get her too. She'd be awesome. Her and Arlene would be a
fighter.
fucking great fight.
That would be a good one.
Her and Arlene would be fucking just stand and go.
Yep.
I'd love to
I
see
agree.
that fight. Well,
I think Larissa would be looking for the takedown in that one.
yep. I mean, I like I said, I know I got this. She got, Cyborg and I got off on this thing because I was like, look, there's no one in the division anymore. But then we re-signed Arlene. I'm like, okay, now it's headed towards re-signing Chris, and the deal wasn't done yet. And then we signed Sarah, and I'm like, there's just no way we don't sign Chris now. And then shortly after that, Chris got signed. And perfect. And then now that you know that Kayla's coming up, well, it makes sense. It all makes sense. So, I mean, like, if you could find a way to get Larissa Pacheco.
So many things going on.
Yeah. I mean,
so many things.
Let's not forget, we've got other female fighters that are in that weight class. You've also got Janae Harding. You've got Leah McCourt. You've got other female fighters that are there. And having an addition like this makes sense. I mean, I know there's leaps and bounds in terms of levels to judo, but Leah McCourt's got pretty good judo, but it's not on the level of Sarah's, but Kayla's. But
No.
but it's just fun to they both got judo. Let's just throw that fight together and see what happens. One's got a little bit better. I look at Leah's got pretty damn good jiu-jitsu. She's got good arm bars, good triangles. She's good off of her back. She's good at kind of getting back to her feet. Kayla's got great arm bars. She's got great kimuras. She's got good top position. She's got pretty heavy hands from that top position. So that should make for a fun fight. I'd like to see that happen. That'd be a good fight. So we'll see what happens, but I'm Hopefully it all happens here soon. December, I know it's a long ways away. Jeez, man.
Yeah, it is. Half a year.
Yeah.
We'll do one more fight here.
Oh, man.
Reported bantamweight bout that's being worked on is Corey Sandhagen versus Nurmagomedov.
Now you don't have to bet me. This is a great matchup.
This is the one. I got to be honest, man. This is the one guy I didn't want him to fight.
Well,
yeah,
I think it's this is a perfect jump off point for Umar. No, look, you got to go. No matter what, you're gonna have to go through it all eventually.
No, I get it.
And you take a look, and there's certain elements of Corey Sandhagen's game where he's going to cause Umar some problems. And there's certain elements of Umar's game that he's going to cause Corey Sandhagen some problems. They're both elite fighters, and they're both so good in the same area. But I do think that the wrestling-wise, Umar does have an advantage. And so it's one of those... The length of Corey Sandhagen can always cause someone problems. His ability to bring the knees up the middle in the way that he does at times, he's dangerous. Fun fight. Love that one.
Yeah,
and you're gonna go, I just want Umar to have one more fight before.
Yeah, I did.
See, I know.
I wanted him. Man. But look, Dave, pull up the 35-pound rankings for the UFC. Obviously, because I'm a little biased, I would have went right to Merab. But I think Henry's going to get that fight. And that Sean's getting the next title shot.
Sean's getting the next one. So then you got
Corey.
I mean, if you're Umar, you're sitting there saying, I love that fight. Give it to me. Corey Sandhagen at number 4. Puts you right there, right in title contention.
No, it does.
If you get the win.
But Umar's not going to wrestle like a normal traditional wrestler, like a Frankie Edgar or Habib. He's not going to wrestle like those guys.
He's going to stand, and he's got a ton of stand-up skills.
Yeah. Yep. He's going to catch the kicks, though, also. He'll catch the kicks, get the takedowns from there. His submission grappling's gotten so much better, and I don't see... I think we were having a discussion with Patchy Mix when we were at the Hawaii show. Was it Hawaii? Yeah, we were at the Hawaii show. And... just in that discussion, we were talking about, he's hands down one of the best guys, if not the best guy I've ever trained with, about Umar. And he just said the
and
way
Umar says in reverse.
Yeah, Umar says in reverse, and he's like, yeah, he's the best guy I've trained with, especially on the ground. So I think it's a mutual respect, but understanding where they're both at, I think he's ready. And Mix has trained with Aljo in the past, trained with Merab in the past, trained with all these guys. And, the success I think that Umar is going to have going from number 11, though, to number 4, that's a huge jump. Huge jump. But I would have liked to have seen a Rob Font fight. Or, obviously, I would love to see the Dominic Cruz fight, but that's only jumping you 2 spots. But I understand the Rob Font fight, or I even said Peter Yan. Peter Yan. I look at Corey. I think Corey's beatable. But Corey's going to give him problems on the feet that Peter wasn't going to give him. Then the control on the ground is where he's going to have to do it. But how is he going to do it? He's got to be slick about getting there. Now, length is going to give him some problems. Now, I know that Umar fights long, which is fine because he use a lot of side kick, a lot of snap kicks to the head, like his brother, Usman.
A lot of spinning attacks.
He's got a beautiful little right hooks, straight left into the pipe. He's got all those things and all the tools. I think he'll have the speed advantage. He's just he's obviously a little bit younger. He's going to have, I look at it though, is this going to be a main event? Is it going to be a 5-round fight?
Depends on where it's put.
In a 3-round fight, I think Umar gets it done. In a 5-round fight, I start getting myself going, oof. Because Corey's going to be there in the 5th. And Umar not having experienced, not that I'm aware of, a 5-round fight before. And that kind of gives me a little concern. Your first 5-round fight is against a fucking stone cold killer. And normally it would be anyways. If you're a 5-round fight, you're a main event. But I would like to, say hey, this he's only fought 1 5-round fight. Whereas I've fought, he's fought none. Look at that. It's a little bit more even match. Sandhagen's fought how many 5-round fights?
I look at this. This is where he needs to be. It's time.
You're such an asshole.
No, you're just protect. You're like a doting little mom.
I am.
You're protective, and you got it. It's like, hey, fly, be free.
Yeah,
it's your time. This is the time, because you could take a look at all those people that are above Umar right now. Pedro Munoz, aging a little bit, tough dude, but Umar, I think, gets that win.
Yeah.
Dominic Cruz, he gets the win. Song Yadong is a tough one because he's got power in his hands and he can wrestle.
Yeah.
So that's a tough one. I think Rob Font, he doesn't have the ability to stop Umar when Umar wants to take him down. If he does in the stand-up, it's very close. Marlon Vera, good matchup. Peter Yan, I think it's a good matchup for him.
Yeah.
Corey Sandhagen, there he's next. So it makes sense.
I get it. I understand. This is going to be a good fight.
He told everyone out there, look, I'm human. Just fight me.
Yeah.
Corey Sandhagen said, I will. I love that.
Well, the one thing I can say about this is that, Habib waits a little bit until he realizes how good they are. And then he says, hey, we opened the floodgates. Did the same thing with Usman, Nurmagomedov, his brother. He said, hey, let's give me a fight or two.
For a while.
Yeah, let me get a fight or two of them in this promotion. Let me see how well they're doing. Let me see how comfortable I feel with them. And then now the floodgates are open. Let's go. Call them all out. We're ready for any of them. And, I look at Peter being probably one of the tougher fights, Piotr Yan, and Corey Sandhagen being two of the tough fights. I think the Merab fight would have been a little bit easier for him. Nothing against Merab. I think that fight would have been a little easier for him. Now, I still doubted the 4th and 5th because he hasn't been there. Not that I'm aware of, been there in the 4th and 5th yet. Against someone like Merab who has that type of cardio and is willing to push. Can he do it for 4 and 5 rounds? But I think in the first 3 rounds, I think that it would be a pretty dominant performance by Umar in that fight. Sean O'Malley is an interesting case because he's so tall, he's so long, he's lanky, he's got good speed, can jab, can kick. And he's not too crafty. He's not too bad off of his back. He's pretty crafty off of his back.
No, he's crafty.
Yeah,
he's good. Good ground grappling.
Yep. And then Henry's just a different animal because he's hard to deal with. He can wrestle you, can take you down, control you. He can strike with you on the feet. I think the length of Umar would give him a little bit of problems. But I also don't think that they would ever fight, given the relationship.
Yeah, I think you're seeing, but Henry's in that position where give him his next fight. No, give him his next fight. Henry's going to be a whole lot better than he was in this fight with.
Absolutely.
He's just going to just getting back into the speed and everything. He's going to look a whole lot different. So
does Henry beat Merab?
Does Henry beat Merab? Yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Yeah. And I really like Merab. I think he's just a gutsy fighter. He sticks with what he's good with, but he out wrestles people.
Yeah,
it's going to be hard for him to get all those takedowns.
I agree. Looking forward to seeing if that fight actually comes to fruition, and hopefully it comes soon.
Yeah.
Because the tension of that fight being talked about by Mr. Cringe himself, Henry Cejudo, is fucking driving me nuts. Because that's the fight that I've originally wanted to see. I wanted to see the Aljo fight, but then as soon as that fight ended, I was like, "There's no other person for you to fight but Merab." That'd be smart. Put you right back in that title.
You called that one right away.
Yeah, because if Aljo's going to beat Sean, let's say he does. I don't know if he does. Then Merab loses, then that puts Sean O'Malley and Henry in together. And then Aljo said he's going to go, even if he loses, he's going to go to 45, or does he try to win the title back? So. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, that's going to wrap up our show today, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Go to onlyfans.com/weighing in. Subscribe to us over there for free. We're doing a Q&A this weekend, so submit your Q&A questions, your fan questions over there. We're taking them from that channel over there. Sorry, Thursday. Thursday is when we're doing it, not this weekend. Okay. And that will be on OnlyFans. So onlyfans.com/weighing in. Submit your fan questions over there. Also go to weighingInmerch.com and pick up some of our new shirts. I'm going to try to get some shorts. Let's get some shorts going there, guys. It's summertime. Let's go.
Summertime.
John's got an AC unit on, that's why. And then put the
Damn straight is hot as hell in here.
Go to weighingInmerch.com, pick up some of the short sleeve available shirts there, and Dave's got to get on these new designs. We got to get some new designs out. We got to be releasing Dave at least one a month, buddy. Can we make see that design we have on our page? Can we make that a shirt? Like that stripe right across the front. Yeah, that picture I'm looking at. Can we make that a shirt? That'd be kind of cool on a white one or on a black one. What do you think?
Yeah, you got that smart ass look on your face.
I know.
Right there, like,
says the guy that has the smart ass look on his face. All right, John, take us away, buddy.
Hey, for everyone out there, be safe, have fun, and we will see you.